to A Well-Designed Business. My name is LuAnn, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company WindowWorks from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to A Well-Designed Business. It is What Would Lou Do Day. This is a show where I answer your questions. So if you have a question for me, send it to LuAnn.com/WWLD. Before I get started, I want to share with you that today's question comes from a designer that I happened to have met last winter in Chicago when I presented the keynote presentation for Powerhouse Smart's Luxury Conference, which, by the way, is an outstanding conference, and I highly recommend that you consider attending it next year. And you know who else is in Chicago? Monogram. That's right. Our sponsor, Monogram, has their full-service flagship design showroom right in Chicago. And when the country opens again, I highly recommend you plan a visit. Maybe you plan to come to the PHS conference next year in Chicago. I'll be there again. You can meet me, meet the team at Monogram. Something to look forward to, right? In the meantime, go to monogram.com/LuAnn, and you can see the full line of luxury appliances all available for you to specify for your next kitchen project. And I recommend that you open your trade account so that you can learn all the benefits of the designer program. You'll get to learn all about the features of the latest state-of-the-art innovation and technology that Monogram has built right into their appliances. Visit monogram.com/LuAnn. All right, so what would Lou do? This question is from Leslie, and she says, we are a 7,000 square foot retail showroom and a full-service design firm. Most customers who walk in the door expect design services for free, since many other retail furniture stores do offer them for free. It is a struggle to educate the consumer because we are a hybrid, and as a large retail furniture showroom, this is sort of what they think is the only deliverable, but we also have the design firm within it. Do you have any suggestions for bridging this gap? I have struggled with it for years. So I want to say, Leslie, first, the money line, right? I'm always looking for that telltale money line. Here it is. It is a struggle to educate the consumer on this. I have struggled with it for years, okay? Why do I settle on this line? Well, it's because as much as we like to lay things at the feet of our consumer, they're really not all bad, and they're not all dumb, and they're not all stubbornly willful and uninterested in hearing what we are saying. So if we take that as an accepted, a given, what is more likely to be the case here? How about this? The messaging to the consumer is not clear. Okay? Whenever you find that you are constantly explaining yourself, your business, and your process to people, then you have to look in the mirror, not at them. Okay? So if your message isn't clear, if you're not clear, okay, how can they be clear? And when you are clear, the struggle will be over. Okay? So now, what I want to say to you, as a business coach, as a businesswoman myself, first, I want you to just research a few things before we jump in and set out to checking your messaging out, okay? The first thing I want you to do is carefully analyze all of your revenue streams. In fact, this exercise I'm going to share with you was covered at length during the last few sessions of the 2 Million Plus Mastermind that I've been running the last 2 months with my cousin, co-author, and organizational consultant, Eileen Hahn. So we have had 6 interior design firm owners in this mastermind, and they all not only enjoyed this exercise, but found it enlightening and motivating. So let's run through it a bit. The first thing is we ask them, what was your gross revenue last year? To find that number, write it down. Then, these were Eileen's suggestions, by the way, to identify all the sources of your revenue. Your design fees, your product sales from the showroom or from, your markup on the outside contracted goods and services, wherever your revenue comes from. Leslie, I want you to make a list of it. And then I want you to break it down in gross revenue by category. Okay, so if it's design fees, how many thousands of dollars? Product sales from the showroom, how many thousands of dollars? Okay, then I want you to go back and write your net profit margin next to each of these categories. Okay, then what I'd like you to do is to look at the revenue streams and identify one or two that you really like doing the most, just personally like doing. And maybe you're not the one doing everything in a company of this size, but which parts of your business bring you the most joy in whichever way that is, okay? And then, are your favorite ways to make money also one or two of your top producing ways to make money, right? And if the answer is no, think about, is there a way to increase gross revenue capacity or the gross profit margins, all right? So I just like you to do that little exercise first, because here's what happens. Knowing what you know now after doing that exercise, does it change anything in needing to know the answer to the question? Meaning, what if you learn you are making more net profit from the furniture side than the full service design side? Do you need to convince more people of its value then, right? Could you not just explain the full service side? And if they don't want it, they don't get it, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, but what if you found you actually make more net profit on the design side? Then we know you would want to definitely convince more people to hire you for this, right? So step one is get clear on where you earn the most money, and then let's make sure we build to move you in that direction. All right. Then the other thing is, let's just take at face value your question. And let's spend some time in the weeds on how you are struggling to educate consumers for years on the value of your full-service design showroom within a major furniture showroom. The first thing that comes to mind is, if the competition is zigging, we need to zag, all right? The other thing to consider is, maybe we don't even consider the competition. How about we just think about your store? We forget that consumers are coming in with a preconceived notion from being in someone else's store, okay? Since the disconnect is thinking there's no added value in full service design, not just that other stores don't offer it, let's see if we can figure out a way to make it a win-win for you and the potential client coming into your showroom, all right? So what occurs to me is how one way that I would like to do this if it were my furniture showroom is I would like to have designed a very beautiful handout that I have made so that my furniture salespeople, my interior designers, my customer service people can all refer to it and give it out to potential customers as they come into my store. And how I'm visualizing this is one of those comparison charts, like when you want to go and buy like a Mac and you're on the Apple website, right? You know exactly what I mean. You click on compare models, and then a chart populates with every single feature possible in their computers, their various computers, and check marks appear down the column if the model includes that feature. So visualize this. This is what I'm thinking. Maybe you have a list of deliverables down the left side, all right? And then at the top, you have the name of your furniture showroom over the top, across the whole top, and on one column it says furniture services, and the other one it says full service design, okay? And maybe you call furniture service something else, but you get my point. And then down the left column, how about some of these headings? Now, this is not my business, so I'm making these things up, all right? Maybe one line says, advice on style, design, and furniture selections. So in my mind, what that is what you get when you work with a furniture salesman, that they're going to give me some advice, give me some design, and help me with my furniture selection. So what a typical competitor would consider design services, right? Now you continue down. Professionally trained, experienced designers. Professional measure of the spaces. To scale floor plans with elevations. Mood boards. Rendering of the design space. Option for one-of-a-kind customizable products. Oversight and coordination of delivery by your interior designer. Styling on installation day. Complete binder at the end of the project with all warranties, cleaning, and maintenance information. The list could go on and on. I would also add some things that could be checked in the furniture selection, furniture services column, right? So all of those are going to be checked off in full service design. So what are some of the things that you could add to the furniture services column? Quality national brands, warranty and maintenance packages, in stock items, 2-week delivery, I don't know. But my idea is that what I want to do is I want to put a chart together of all the amazing features of both my furniture services and my full service design services. And so that, yes, my full service design services may have more boxes checked off and the deliverables are much more specific, but the idea is that I'm painting a picture to my potential consumer that no matter what you do, if you work with me in column A or you work with me in column B, it's a home run. This is all you get, okay? You get all of these things. Not all you get all of these things, right? And so imagine now how clear the comparison would be in this black and white type of environment where you're just like, all of these come with furniture services and all of that in furniture services comes with full service interior design plus all these check marks, okay? Imagine everyone on your staff being able to easily explain the services and the clients being able to take it away with them, right? Just like when you go to a restaurant and the waiter brings you the wine list. He'd like you to buy the $200 bottle of wine, but really he just wants you to definitely buy a bottle of wine. So it's the same with you. You'd like more clients to be full service, but you really want them all to work with you, to buy from you, okay? And you also clearly want them to know the line between the different services, right? Because I can imagine, where someone buys a furniture and somebody works with them and gives them a little, rough floor plan or something, the salesman on the floor, and now all of a sudden the customer's thinking they're going to get this, that, and the other thing. It's like, no, let's get that little list out here again, okay? So this is going to work both ways. It's going to keep everybody in their lane. It's going to keep the customers in their lane, the salespeople in the lane, the designers in the lane. Everybody knows, all right? And I would also train everyone in my store to be able to succinctly explain the two services easily, without hesitation or confusion. And then follow it up by saying, here, let me give you this little handout. It defines it so easily, and you can take a look and decide which service is best for you. Right? Boom. Just pick a bottle, any bottle. They're all good. Okay? And what happens is now the potential client that says, what's the difference between buying furniture here at your showroom and buying furniture at someone else's? Aren't you going to include the design services they included? It's like, well, do they really though? No, they don't. Okay. And without saying it in anything other than this is what full service design includes. Okay. And now what happens is if the person honestly looks at all the deliverables for full service design and they don't have a need for it, we don't care. Well, then just come right over here and let me introduce you to Harry. Harry be happy to sell you furniture. Okay. All right. So, and the other things that cross my mind is I would probably give some time and effort into how I could make my store feel different than the typical furniture store, right? So in my mind, it's like when I come into your store, even before somebody hands me this list and before somebody starts to talk to me about the differences, I'm already starting to have a full service design experience. okay, rather than the experience of a typical showroom. So, you have to think about what touch points you can deliver, elevated experiences in little ways, all right, anything that you can do to make it feel different in your retail space as compared to the local competition, all right, to further drive home the point that you are not just product, that you are service and expertise. And I'll use an example from the window treatment world, all right? So I've told you guys 100 times on the show how for many years there was a competitor of ours a mile away. And his store actually was a Hunter Douglas Gallery showroom, which in window treatment language means, wow, you're a Hunter Douglas Gallery showroom, right? And we weren't. But the thing is that his showroom always looked like what I'm going to say in quotes, a blind showroom. Right? It looked like a blind and shade showroom, whereas our showroom has always felt like a space. So I always have had a showroom that had many windows in it. We specifically look for that when we've gone and done our, looking for our spaces. And in a particular window, I might have 3 or 4 window treatments. So I've got one on the maybe two inside mount, one blind with another type of blind on top of it. And then I've got a pair of drapes, and then I've got a valance, and maybe there's a Roman shade stuck under the valance. But when you walk into my showroom, you just really see the valance and the drapery treatment and maybe one layer of the blind or shade. It looks like a beautiful window treatment that you would have in your home. But then when you say to me, I really don't know what a 1% roller shade looks like, I'm like, happen to have one hiding behind these 16 layers of window treatments. And so the point is that at Window Works, we always wanted to attract a higher level of clientele. So we never, ever designed our showroom to look like a blind and a shade shop. It always looked like a destination for decoration and design. And so I want you to think about that too, Leslie. Is there something that you could do to your design space, to your furniture showroom, that when you come in, you just know it's different from the typical furniture showroom? And I will leave that to you to figure out some of those creative ideas that maybe you could deliver for that experience, okay? So I hope this was helpful, because really what we're talking about is if you have continued for years to struggle to explain to your potential client the difference between your design services at the full service level and the quote unquote design services at a typical furniture showroom, or even in the furniture side of your own business, then that means that your messaging and your conversation points are not finite. And so I want you to work on that, but I also think that little pamphlet is an excellent idea to make it a take-home thing for somebody to consider, okay? Now, I want to say a few final thoughts about this. If you are listening to this and you're saying to yourself, well, I don't have a 7,000 square foot showroom, so that's not exactly my problem, but I'm not so sure I'm clear on my messaging with what my actual client will get from me when they work with me, then I want to tell you, I have to recommend that you pick up my second book, A Well-Designed Business, The Power Talk Friday Experts, Volume 1. The very first chapter is written by Nicole Heimer of Curio Electro, and if you've listened to even 5 shows, you know how outstanding she is at what she does. She is the guru of brand messaging, and her chapter really helps you drill down and get clear on what your message should be, so that you attract your ideal client to you. So I recommend that you pick that up and check out her chapter. Go to luannniagara.com/book2. All right. The next thing is, you heard me mention my $2 million plus mastermind, okay? This mastermind started out as 6 designers, 2 coaches, and a mission to help our businesses survive COVID-19. Okay, truly, when I say survive, all right, we all have fairly large teams. We definitely all have large overhead, and we were definitely all scared half of it out of our wits when COVID-19 hit and shelter and, stay at home and all of that happened. Well, I have to tell you, 3 or 4 weeks into the mastermind, we were meeting every single week. We have a couple weeks left, meeting every single week, specifically because it was crunch time. It was, we've got to get ourselves up and out of this. The thing is The ideas were flying, support given and support received. After 3 or 4 weeks, we are no longer talking about surviving a downturn. We are now talking about how to manage our growth and how do we reach even higher goals. 201, every single one in this mastermind has turned a corner and is now like saying, whoa, I'm scared to death that I have so much business, I'm going to mismanage it, right? So I want to tell you that we've made a choice to take it further and go monthly. And if you have a firm with gross revenues of $2 million or more, and you would like to be part of this, as we end this session, we are going to move into the monthly sessions. Like I said, we talk about margins, markups, job descriptions for employees, hiring practices, services offered, marketing, you name it, we share it. I'll tell you one crazy thing I noticed. It was just so funny. They're all like, why are you hammering on that? One designer was saying how she felt like she could never charge more than 10% markup on tile. Another designer said, I regularly charge 25 and another one 40. And then boom, just like that. It's like, oh, now I can see it's possible. When I tell you there have been aha moments like that every single week, because we are truly, genuinely, openly sharing with each other exactly how everything is done, okay? And this is so valuable. And it's also very valuable when you are at this level of business and it's sort of, you don't necessarily need the basics anymore. You need that higher level peer group so that you can, we can speak your same language. 10 employees, 12 employees, what do we do? So if you would like to do this with me and Eileen, over the next several months, please email me at info@LuAnnNigara.com. Put mastermind in the subject line, all right? Tell me a little bit about your firm and give me your telephone number, and we'll set up a call, and together you and I will see if it's a good fit for you, all right? So thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as I unveil my newest course, Buy Wholesale for Profit, taught by Tracy Connell. This is an outstanding opportunity to go from trading money for time and making money on time and product sales, okay? Check it out tomorrow. Buy Wholesale for Profit, okay? Thanks so much for joining me today. Be well, be safe, be nice, be positive, decide to be excellent. Thank you so much for joining me again today. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks, your resource for custom window treatments and awnings. To learn how we can help you on your next interior design project, go to www.windowworks-nj.com. And if you're interested in working with me on your business, either through masterminds or one-on-one coaching, or you want to know how to get my book, The Making of a Well-Designed Business, or you just want to know what's going on in the podcast land and where I'm going to be, all of that is found at LuAnnNigara.com. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.